Welcome back to our Introduction to SQL Programming course. This is Session 6, the Data Manipulation Language. In this video, we are going to discuss the select statements in the structured query language, or SQL. The SQL programming language can be broken into two parts. There is data manipulation language, which is called DML, and there's also data definition language, which is DDL. And DML is used to query and modify the data in the database. In this session, we'll describe how to use the select, insert, update, and delete SQL DML commands defined below. So we'll see here again, select, insert, update, delete. In this video, we will be focusing on the select statement. In the SQL DML statement, each clause in the statement should begin on a new line. The beginning of each clause should line up with the beginning of other clauses. So they should actually be counterparts or corresponding parts. If a clause has several parts, they should appear on separate lines and can be indented under the start of the clause to show the relationship. Uppercase letters are used to represent reserved words. Lowercase letters are used to represent user-defined words. However, SQL does not enforce the uppercase and lowercase. These are merely good practices or conventions that the industry follows. If we look here at the select statements, again, we can see select items. So these will be the columns. You can pass other items besides columns, but for right now, we'll say we're selecting table columns. We can select all of the columns. We can select just some of the columns. From the tables indicated, where, and then we pass in a condition, and then we can actually group these to format the results. So we can group by a particular field, say it's name or status, and then we can order by, meaning that we can sort. So we can sort by alphabetically, numerically, and we can even go beyond these commands here. So select statement alone, and we can have a select statement alone, and we can also have it with a where clause where we pass in criteria. We can use wildcards, and we can use a like clause, which also limits a wildcard. The select statement with an order by clause, again, that gives us sorting. A select statement can also have a group by clause, which can roll up certain results by a column value. And then we can also restrict rows by the command having. Let's take a look at a few examples. In this example, we'll run a basic select statement. So we can see here we're running the select, and we can see the select is a reserved word in all caps. Here are the columns separated by commas, the columns of the table. I know the columns of this table because I listed them. And then we see the from keyword again in caps, and we know the table is employees. And we have our terminator, which is our semicolon. And we can go ahead and run this, and we can see the results here. We can see the column names and each record. We can also use the select statement to return just the columns we're interested in. So here we see, although the columns here are 6 columns, we're only bringing back, in this case, 4. So we can run the select statement, and we will see that in this case only 4 columns are brought back. Here we have an example where we are actually using the where clause to pass in some criteria for the results returned. In this case, after from employees, which is again the table, we're going to say where the column employee code, in this case, equals E34, and I'm using single quotes because the data in this column is the variable character or varchar character, so we have to pass it with single quotes. So if I run this query, we should see that only the results where the employee code equals E34 are returned, and that's what happens. In this case, there's one record returned.